Okay, hi guys. I'm going to stitch the Sitting Santa napkin holder and napkin holder cover. These are the napkin holders. You can get them at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. Um, my Dollar Tree always has them in stock, and I was told that they would always be in stock at most stores because they are a very popular item. I have heard that some people have problems getting them at the Dollar Tree. You, my understanding is you can request that they get a case of them, or you can also order a case of them from DollarTree.com. So I've looked on Amazon. Amazon carries something that is similar, but it's more expensive. It's like $7. I was going to order one and just see if the covers fitted or not. I haven't done that yet, but that is the plan. So this is one of the previous ones, and they just slip over like that. So this one I'm actually going to stitch on vinyl. That's the nice thing about these covers. You can use vinyl, felt, fabric, whatever you want. I would use something more sturdy for the base, like felt or vinyl. So the first step is to stitch the placement line directly on your stabilizer, and then after that stitches out, then you want to cover it with your vinyl. So I will do that and come back and show you that. Okay, you can see the placement line is stitched directly on the stabilizer, and I've got my vinyl that I'm going to use for the background, and I'm just going to place it right on top of there. And then the next step is going to be the placement stitch for the first tree. So I'm going to stitch that directly on the vinyl, and then I'm going to cover the stitch line with felt and stitch the tack down line, and then trim around the outside of it. So I'll come back after the first tree is done so you can see it. Okay, here is the first tree done, and now I'm going to go ahead and stitch out the second one. And so it's the same procedure. Placement stitch, cover with your fabric, run the tack down, then trim around. So I'll come back when the second tree is done. Okay, here is both trees, and the next step is the Santa body, I believe. Yes, the Santa body, which is right here. And I'm going to use a piece of red flannel from one of my husband's old shirts. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and show you when he's done. It's the placement line, cover, tack down, trim around. Okay, and there's Santa's body. And like I said, I used a piece of one of my husband's old flannel shirts. On appliques, if you were doing an applique on clothing, you definitely, if you're using fabric, you definitely want to use a product like, this is called Steam-A-Seam 2, and you iron it on before you use it as an applique, and it will make it so it doesn't fray. But that's not necessary, at least on my version of the napkin holder. It's not necessary because I actually want that frayed look. So I did not do that. And obviously, if you do decide that you want to use it on the fabric, don't iron it on the vinyl because you will melt the vinyl. So, okay, the next step is the Santa beard. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch that, and I'll come back and show you. Okay, there's Santa's beard. I used a piece of fleece because for two reasons. It's puffier than the felt, and I liked the way the edges look when it's kind of little frayed look. It looks a little bit more wild, and I like that in a bean stitch applique. So the next step is, let me just double check, the white ball on the Santa hat. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch that and come back and show you. Okay, there's Santa's ball at the end of his hat. And again, I used a piece of fleece because it was a little puffier. And but for the mustache, I'm actually going to use felt because I think it'll be a nice contrast between the color is just a little slightly off, so you can definitely see some definition there. So the next step now is his face. So I'll go ahead and put his face in and then come back and show you. Okay, there's Santa's face. Now I'm going to go ahead and do his mustache, and I'll come back and show you. Okay, there's the mustache, and the next step is going to be his nose. So I will do that and come back. Okay, there is the nose all done. Now the next step is going to be the holly leaf up on his hat. And so I'll stitch that out and come back and show you. Okay, there is the holly leaf on his hat, and the next step is going to be holly berries. So I'll stitch that out and be right back. Okay, there is the holly, and now the next step is his boot. So I'll do one boot, come back and show you before I do the next one. Okay, there is one boot done. Now the next step is going to do the second boot. Okay, there is the second boot done, and the last applique part is the heart in the center of his stomach, which I will do and come back and show you. Okay, there is the heart on Santa's stomach, and I forgot to stop the machine, but so it did the next stitch, which was his eyes. So there's the only thing to do now before put the backing on is to run the border. So I'll run the border, and then we'll put the backing on. Okay, now the border is stitched all the way around, and I put my vinyl on the back. So now we're just going to put it back in on the machine and run the final bean stitch. Okay, I've got my napkin holder all cut out. It turned out really cute. Okay, one last thing I wanted to do. This is totally optional, but I'm going to add... Oops, sorry, just kicked the camera. I'm going to add a button to the heart. And since I'm not going to be sewing it on because it is several layers of vinyl, I'm going to just fake stitches by using a Sharpie and making a little X in the center of the button. Just like that. See? Okay, and then I'm just going to add a little hot glue to the back of the button. You don't need much, just a little tiny bit. And then put it on the heart. Now, the thing with hot glue, see how I got it on my fingers? I used to always panic about using hot glue because it was so messy. Yeah, it's not. It takes like 2 seconds to dry, and then it just comes right off. And if you get it in a spot where you don't want it, just let it dry, and you can very easily remove it. But there we go. Isn't it cute? Okay, and then just slide this way over your napkin holder. Just like that. Okay? Hope you enjoy it.